Hello, guys. Welcome back to another DNA First Impressions. Yes, that's right. We're doing a First Impressions today. And the reason for that is because what I want to talk to you guys about today is not fully, it's not all, well, actually, I shouldn't say that. It's out subtitled. It is not fully dubbed yet. They're dubbing it little by little, and it is being dubbed, but it's not fully out. So, without ado, let me get into this. Well, but first, let me introduce myself because we always do. For those of you who are new, if you're new here and you have not watched any videos or you're just starting on this one, my name is Aaron or A. Goldman. I am the founder and one of the creators for the Anime Blog and for our YouTube channel, DNA Studios Entertainment. So if you're new to this and you're just joining me, thank you. Please subscribe. Do subscribe. It does help. This is where we do all kinds of stuff here. So yeah, get over here and subscribe. Anyway, so today, let me get into this. Today, if you guys don't know, we're going to be talking about an older anime, and just so I have, make sure I have it here with me. We're gonna be talking about an older anime. Yes, that's right. I did say older anime. The reason for that is because they just did a new. It's a new adventure. They just did a new adventure for it. It was announced a while ago. You guys might know what I'm talking about if you are a '90s kid. And the show that we're going to be talking about today is. Yes, that's right. We're going to be talking about Digimon. The reason for this is because Digimon got there's a new Digimon series being dubbed currently. It had been announced a while back ago, and got same original characters from Digimon Adventure from the original series back in the 90s, the Digimon Adventure series in the 90s. Same characters and same look, but new adventure and new adventure and kind of just new cast and everything else new cast and everything for the new adventure and new story. So with that new story, yes, your characters look the same, but don't be confused, as the characters are not quite exactly the way it seems. Yes, they look the same, but there are differences. So I will be getting into that, and I will be talking about the characters and the differences and also the adventures and kind of my personal thoughts on this. With that said, this particular kind of first impressions is very tough because if you're a 90s kid like myself and you are used to hearing something for a long time, whether it's a voice or whether it's a character or whatever, being a certain way or having a certain tone or a certain characteristic or a certain voice or just certain personality for so long, it is very hard to adjust to a change with a character or like a new voice or any kind of a difference to that character is hard to adjust to. So for those of you out there who have watched the original Digimon Adventure series from the 1990s, you know that Takemiya, the main character or the main protagonist for Digimon, always had a specific voice and a specific kind of personality, and he was a really awesome but also funny character both in the Digimon movie and also in the original 1990s Digimon Adventure dub. This has changed due to the fact that a lot of the original cast from the 1990s Digimon Adventure series, two of the members have passed away, and they could not get replacements. So some of you might have seen Digimon try and been like, hey, look, they do have people that can do voices and do some of the characters, but they couldn't find a very good. They didn't find they couldn't find someone who was not, I shouldn't say the right, but they couldn't find a good fit, someone that they felt like was a good fit for those roles. And that is part of the reason why they recast the entire cast for Digimon for the new 2020 Digimon Adventure series that has recently come out, the spring. They call it the spring 2020 Digimon Adventure series that has come out, but it's coming out and is being dubbed now. So that's part of the reason for a a total recast. You may also know that Joshua Seth is the voice of Tai Kamiya from Digimon, from the actual 1990s dub, and has been the voice for a very long time. Also, Joshua Seth, if you're watching this, shout outs to you. You're amazing. I actually reached out to Joshua Seth before doing this, and also have been reaching out to him recently to kind of talk to him and get his opinion on stuff and stuff like that. And really awesome, really cool actor. If you ever get a chance to meet Joshua Seth, the voice of Tai, and also Akira and a bunch of other characters, do go see him at a convention if you get a chance. He is really cool. Get something signed by him. He's awesome. So big shout outs to Joshua Seth and all of the original, all of the 1990s cast for Digimon. Huge shout outs. And also all of the new cast that does the 2020 release for the new Digimon Adventure series that is being dubbed now. Big shout outs to all of them. They all do a really good job, and they're all really cool actors and fantastic. Nothing against any of them. They're all really amazing. So, but back to what I was saying, if you are like me and you remember you grew up watching the 1990s dub, you kind of get used to characters having a certain voice and a certain style to the character, and it kind of the actor and the character kind of meld together in a really cool way. And that happens with a lot of anime characters, where everyone has their preferences, right? Certain people like Goku as Sean Schemmel. Other people are used to very different Goku, the Japanese Goku, or maybe another Goku in Spanish, or whatever the case may be, right? And you have your preferences as to how your head and how your mind remembers a character, and how you how you remember that character sounding. So when they change it, it is very hard to adjust to a new voice. So for me, when I started watching the new 2020 series, it was very hard for me to adjust to a new voice for Tai and Agumon. Growing up in the 90s, I used to always hear Joshua Seth as Tai, and Agumon was the same voice that it was back then, and now that's different. It's really tough to see the character looks the same, but the voice coming out is very different. So anyway, so that is something I wanted to talk about and wanted to mention. And the other thing too is that the characters are even though they look like the same characters from the 1990s version of Digimon Adventure, these characters in the new 2020 Digimon Adventure are very different. The strategy and just the story is much different. Rather than your Digidestined getting transported to another world and having to fight villains like the Dark Masters, or like Apocalypse or Diaboromon or anything like that, right? And them having to kind of go to the digital world. In the new series, the digital world is kind of there alongside of the human world, but also it's very advanced. So it's kind of like the modern internet now. You have the World Wide Web as you do now, like we have now. And in the new one, the World Wide Web is kind of also considered the digital world, or is the digital world. And the computers and tablets you have now are your gateway to the digital world. And the way that the new one starts is very different. Instead of them being in summer camp like they were in the original 1990s one, this one, they are Tai and his family are taking a trip and find themselves in trouble on a train when the trains go haywire, and Tai gets transported to the digital world through his phone. So this is very different from the new series. Also, the attitude of the characters is also very different. The original one, I would say, was not as... The 1990s version was not as kind of gung-ho, or kind of... not gung-ho, but they weren't so quick to jump, to leap forward, to jump into a fight. Whereas the newer series, they are more ready for battle, and more battle ready than the original one, or than the 1990s version. So the characters, there is a slight character difference in each of these characters. And also something that Joshua Seth pointed out to me personally was that Tai now is not the same Tai that he played in the 1990s version of Digimon. So keep in mind, there are changes in the characters. My biggest thing too is that Having to adjust to a new cast has been rough for me. But let me know what you guys think. Are you watching the new Digimon Adventure series? And I've heard a lot of people say good things about it. And I will say this: it is very well done. I do like how the story is very, it keeps you hooked in and you want to watch. And it is really, the animation is amazing. The new sequence for Digivolving which looks really cool. It's also very clean. The 1990s version was a little gritty. You had that old 90s animation, which I kind of do miss the old 90s animation. But I will say that the new series for Digimon is very clean. The characters look better, and also the um, the different attacks and the different stuff that they do. So the pepper breath and all the fire stuff and all the cool the cool fireball attacks and all that stuff look amazing. And the animation is insane. So if you, even if you're not used to the new cast, or maybe you are not sure about watching the new one, the story is really good, and the animation is amazing. So maybe you're a Pokemon fan and you've never watched Digimon. Try watching the. Try watching the. You know what? Try watching the original '90s version and then try watching the new one and see what you guys think. You guys tell me which voices you like better, or maybe you prefer the new one, or maybe you've only watched the new one. But yeah, you tell me. But for me personally, I had a rough time adjusting to a new cast for Digimon. Um, and I never got to meet all the whole cast for the 1990s version. I wish I had gone to conventions back in the day. I never got a chance to. I was still young back in the day, but I wish I had gone to some of the conventions back in the day and gotten to meet the whole cast. It would have been cool. But definitely shout outs to Joshua Seth and a lot of other voice actors from the 1990s Digimon, and also from the newer one, from the 2020 version. You guys are amazing. I did see that um, there are some homages that they paid to the original 1990s version in the new one, the 2020. And if you watch the original one, or if you watch the 1990s version, you will know that you'll see the little Easter eggs and things that they put in there um, that kind of relate to, or they put Easter eggs in there that you can see from the OG, or that you'll recognize, from the original 1990s one. But the other thing too is that the newer characters from the 2020 anime, 2020 Digimon Adventure anime, are a lot stronger than the 1990s version. So, for example, I've only seen the first two episodes, at least dubbed. I've seen the whole thing subtitled, but in the first two episodes of the dubbed version of the new Digimon, already know how to do. They already know how to DNA Digivolve, which is the Omnimon. They know how to fuse together, which is DNA Digivolve, right? Or they call it something different actually in the new 2020 version. But a lot of us old fans will recognize the DNA Digivolve sequence from the second season of Digimon Adventure with Davis and all them. However, in this new Digimon Adventure series, Matt and Ty already know how to DNA Digivolve to create Omnimon, and you do see, or Omegamon as he's called in Japanese, or in Japan. They already know how to do that in the second episode. So that is something that's also very different. Is that the powers and the abilities of your your characters, Ty and all of your characters, is very different in the new one. Yeah, it's still the same. They still have the crests, but not in the same way. The crests are more digital than they are actual physical objects. In the original one, they actually traveled to the digital world and actually had a physical necklace or physical object that was the crest. Whereas in this one, they haven't showed it quite yet, and it might actually. I shouldn't say that because I haven't seen the third episode yet. So in this one, from what I've seen so far, it is a digital, kind of like a digital app, or like a digital symbol that is with them. And there's the crest of courage and on friendship and all that, and love and all that stuff, right? So this one, it is a little different. Now, like I said, I've only seen the first two, so I might be wrong on this one, and don't call me out on that, but from what I've seen, there is no like physical object yet. So that is a difference too. Is that the actual strength and the actual storyline for this show the characters are a lot stronger than they were in the 1990s version. They're also more battle hungry in the new 2020 version. I will say that from what I've seen so far. So yeah, if you guys are watching this, or if you guys are playing the card game, definitely let me know. And I do have the original 1990s Digimon card game, or at least a lot of the cards from back then. I know that now the card game is way, way better. A lot of people have actually said that they've improved the card game and fixed a lot of the problems that the 90s version, back in the 1990s, the card game that was released was not easy to play, and it also was confusing, and there were a lot of kind of missteps, and they didn't market it correctly, and there's a lot of mistakes they made. But I do have the original cards. If anyone else wants to, if you have a comment or you have some of the OG cards, please do let me know. Leave a comment under this video, and let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think? Are you a 90s kid? Do you remember watching the 1990s Digimon? And were you a big fan of it? Or are you more of like, what are you watching the new one, the 2020 version? And what are your thoughts? Anyway, this has been my kind of little, this has been my just things I want to point out in my little first impressions video for Digimon. I did want to point out this stuff, and not sure if all of you guys have seen the 1990s version yet, but if you haven't, go watch it. It's about 54 episodes. The original one and the new one, I don't know what the total, I can't remember what the total episode count for the new 2020 Digimon Adventure is, but yeah, go watch it. It's one thing I will say, it's more in modern times. The 2020 version brings Digimon up to a more modern time period in terms of technology and that kind of stuff. So if you are going to watch it, you will see that the computers and the technology is way more modern, which is good to see that they brought it back up to modern times. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. But anyway, this has been a DNA First Impressions for the Digimon Adventure, both for the new 2020 version and also a comparison to the original 1990s. I will continue to have more on this as more of the episodes get released, and hopefully once they finish dubbing the whole entire 2020 version of the new anime with the new story, I will do more. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you think about this first impressions video, and make sure to smash the like button, and also whoops, wrong button, sorry about that. And also make sure to get over here and subscribe for more. Anyway, we'll see you next time. Peace.
Hi there. Please subscribe or follow DNA Anime Blog and DNA Studios on all of their social media platforms. Okay, bye!